Really.
Uh,
Welcome to the Holistic Kids Show. My name is Zane.
My name is Dila.
And my name's Imad.
We're the Holistic Kids here to educate us kids from the inside out. Since we have started eating only real food, a lot of people think we don't enjoy delicious foods anymore. But when you discover real food replacements to your fake food, like favorites, it's life-changing.
Like, we constantly tell our peers that we love to have burgers, we love to have chicken sandwiches, we love to have candies and all of the kinds of foods that usually kids are eating. But you know what makes it better? A lot of people ask us about sauces because a lot of times it's hard to find natural sauces. And for us, one of our biggest is Prime Kitchen's their sauce, because for us it was a game changer. We went from having almost no sauce to now enjoying sauce with every single meal. So we literally couldn't live without itself, and so we started to only eat the real food, and that's who we're here to talk with today. Miss Morgan Zanotti, who is the former president, actually, and co-founder of Primal Kitchen, one of the fastest growing brands in the natural food industry. And so we are so honored to have her with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
It's our pleasure.
It really is our pleasure.
So, having led Primal Kitchen to exceed over 200 million in retail sales in just 7 years, Morgan reveals her insights on building and selling a successful business. She has really built an empire of change, we like to call it. So thank you so much, Miss Morgan, for making eating real food fun for us, and we don't even miss actually eating fake food anymore. Also, we know you guys have a new drink. And so we are so thankful for all of you guys who are doing this for us and even sending it to us. And so we wanted to ask you, what inspired you and also Mark Sisson to start Primal Kitchen? Because who thinks of the idea to start a natural sauce company?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Mark, my founder, he was a big blogger in the paleo space. So 10 years ago, the paleo movement was really like taking off, and he was an educator online, an ex-triathlete, and coached the Olympic triathlon team, had a whole sports performance history in his life, and was frustrated at the grocery store because he was avoiding seed oils before this whole seed oil free movement existed. And we were the first people to do a condiment without seed oils in it. So the first people to do an avocado oil-based condiment. And he just went to the grocery store and was like, none of this is working for me. I want to be Newman's Own, but with ingredients that I can actually read without seed oils and doesn't have high fructose corn syrup and all the other things. And I had had my own health and wellness journey and been obsessed with the space and a follower of Mark. I met him. I was running marketing for a different brand called Kavita. I met Mark and he was like, really want to launch this food company. Do you think you could help? So started working on the brand 2 years before we came to market, 12 years ago.
Wow.
You're so empowering and so inspirational. And thank you so much, because like I mentioned, for us, we probably never had any sauce for, I think, 8 years after we started doing this.
Like any other more different type of dressing.
We used to have to make all of our sauces from home.
Yeah.
All the Caesar salad sauce, everything from home. And so we're so grateful for you finally being able to put that on the market, so that so many people, and making it easier for so many people to be able to have and enjoy those sauces with their foods.
And we love your Kavitas. Delicious.
Oh yeah, Kavita's great. Yeah.
Yeah, we just got them.
Yeah. Good.
So when you first started, did you imagine that if it would grow into this huge empire that it is today?
No, we did not. We were we ran our first production run of mayonnaise, which was maybe 18,000 jars in February of 2015. And we said, if we sell this in a year, that would be great. And it sold out a week later. So it was definitely not. It was definitely a lot more successful than I think we anticipated it would be.
I mean, if it sold out a week later after you expecting it to not sell out as fast, that's a pretty big success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very.
So in those early days, what challenges did you face, and how were you able to keep going? And what advice would you have for anybody that's also trying to start something like this and they're stuck in, the first early challenges of starting a business?
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you have for them?
There's a lot of challenges in starting a business, right? Like I think Primal was mostly fun though. We didn't have we had production issues like a year in, and there was a month period where we couldn't make mayonnaise, and it's hard to get back on the production line and all that kind of stuff. Building a team is always challenging. Like the early hires are so important, even who you choose to partner with. Like make sure you guys have differing skill sets. Like the worst thing that can happen is you have marketing focused founders, and then you end up kind of disagreeing on something, and you need, no one knows their lane. So get in business with people where everybody has a clearly defined lane they can own, and you're not kind of crossing each other. I mean, you're gonna have conflict, but you don't want to be set up to have a lot of conflict. I think that's a key thing. And then I think just really not doing it until you feel so impassioned by it that you can't not do it. If you feel like I have to do this thing, then you're ready. If you don't feel like that, you're not ready. Just wait. Go work for an entrepreneur. You're going to learn a ton. You will you'll get the whole thing. So yeah, that'd be my advice.
So, why do you think people are craving more natural food today? Is it just the increase of maybe social media talking about it, or is it that maybe people are starting to wake up, or anything else?
Well, I think everybody's on their health journey, but once you're kind of educated on it, it's hard to go back the other way. I feel like everybody goes a little bit like this though. They go really crazy and strict, and then they net out somewhere here. You get, I don't know, but you don't ever normally end up worse than you were when you learned all the things you learn about health and wellness. So I think that just kind of snowballs and has a compounding effect. And when you eat better and you feel better, you're likely to tell your friends you're eating better and they're feeling better. And it kind of just perpetuates from there. But I think GLP-1s are a big macro trend that's contributing for sure to just people's change in eating habits. And we've always, as women, we've probably always thought about what we're eating maybe more than men. Maybe that's I shouldn't say that, but I feel like it's kind of true. I think women have been on much more of a weight loss journey than men have over time. And so diet's always been a topic of conversation. I just think that the trend has shifted. When I was growing up, they were selling women Nabisco 100-calorie snack packs, and it was all about low calorie, and then it was all about low fat, and then it was all about low carb, and then it was all about intermittent fasting. And now I feel we're coming to determine from all of the data we have that as long as you're eating as close to the natural source as possible, you've probably got 80% of it covered, and we've way overcomplicated this health and wellness thing. That's my take on it. Yeah.
I think 100% agree with you that nowadays we've made health so complicated, when really it just comes down to living a good lifestyle and a well lifestyle. And obviously that has to do with food and taking care of your body. But even when it comes to sleep, the social aspect, just every single aspect. And what we tell a lot of people is that it's all basically free. You don't have to buy any of that kind of stuff. You don't have to go buy expensive supplements and get into all of that. But really, you can start today, any day, no matter how old you are, and be able to change your life, all just by implementing simple, easy strategies. And so I 100% agree with you. And that's why I wanted to ask, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned as an entrepreneur?
Oh man, that is such a loaded question. The biggest lesson I've learned as an entrepreneur. Nobody knows what they're doing. In corporate America, in a startup, as a first-time founder, as a second-time founder, as employee number 1, as employee number 20, everybody is just trying to figure it out. The world is changing fast and nobody knows what they're doing. And if you don't, you're in good company, and that's fine.
Amazing.
And that's why, remember everyone, it's okay to not know what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing, that means you're still trying to find the right path to go. And for everyone, I feel like that's just life. That's just how it is. And eventually you'll be able to get there. Just take it day by day, because that's the best way to go about anything, really.
Yeah. I love it.
So, like, how can kids and teens start making better food choices, even when we're surrounded by junk food? I mean, even going into like high school and the lunches, like the lunchroom, it's just like plain pizza with like some chips or something, and that's really terrible for people's minds. So, how do you think like kids and teens can start making these better food choices?
I don't know if you guys have had her on the podcast, but there's this amazing woman, Nora. She runs an organization called Eat Real. Have you ever heard of Eat Real?
I think so.
I've
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys should get her on the podcast. She's great. But Primal Kitchen actually donated $1 million to her organization, but she actually goes into schools. It's free. It's a nonprofit organization. And if she'll help your school, like redo their whole school program, and like they put consultants in and they evaluate everything they're serving and they like swap everything out, like some yogurt parfait, they make like Greek yogurt with fresh fruit instead of some prepackaged, like really sugary yogurt, for instance. So just like little things like that. And they redo the whole school program and it's really cool. So just a plug for Eat Real. If anyone's listening, you should go to your school, reach out to Eat Real, see if you can get your school Eat Real certified. I think it's awesome. And then I just think mentally, if we're focusing on what we're avoiding, it's kind of like an unhealthy mindset to be walking around all day like, you can't eat that and I can't eat that, and it's so negative. So I think just focusing on like getting more of the good stuff, and then you're just naturally like not hungry for the junk food. So if that means like more protein, more vegetables, more sparkling protein waters called whey, more just healthier alternatives, then I think you're just naturally not going to be as hungry as you would be for all the other junk food. And then just like don't have it in the house or out on the counter. That's just an easy one. But I see where it's a struggle. It's everywhere. Yeah, it's tough.
And that's why, like we say to a lot of parents, that they often complain that their kid is always wanting to, whenever they're in their house, like you said, that they just keep on. They see Doritos, they see those their junk food, ultra processed foods, and immediately their brain wants them to have it. And so one of the biggest things we tell parents is to always make sure to never bring it into your house, because as soon as you bring that kind of junk food and ultra processed food in your house, then your kids are immediately going to want it. And also, we always tell parents or remind parents to role model for us, because as kids and teens, if we see you doing something, then most likely we're going to do the exact same thing and follow in your footsteps. So first of all, always remember to be the best version of yourself, so that we can then improve ourselves as well.
Love it.
So how do you see the future of healthy and food and wellness evolving? Like, is it improving for the years to come?
I think it has to improve, right? But then I am surprised sometimes. I feel like we haven't gotten that much better since I was growing up. And culturally, like, food's such a cultural thing in the US, but like maybe not in the best way. Like things that take off, it's like whatever those cluster sour nerds are that are like so popular now. It's like, what are we doing? Like, so I feel like, there's a little bit of like a junk food culture convergence that we could stand to do away with. But I think overall, there's like much increased testing. There's much more testing going on, like for lead and other like contaminants, for glyphosate, for whatever. And so I think that with more transparency will come like more accountability at the company level. And then I think really like we vote with our dollars, right? So like if more and more consumers are buying like the better for you option, then the food companies have no choice but to pay attention and start to formulate better products. So I think we have more control than we think we do, because every time we buy something, we're voting for like that company to win or lose in the great food war, if you will.
So for anybody, or any kid, because we talk about the future, any kid that wants to become an entrepreneur and wants to start a business that's, sometimes maybe too big, like to even think about, what's the best place to start and how do you start on that mission so that you're able to achieve your goal, especially in the future?
Like any sort of entrepreneurial goal or just any goal?
So on entrepreneurial goal, and then specifically as well, any maybe a like health brand goal, and something more nutritious and something that's there to help the world, which seems like a big task, especially for a kid. But how do you start and how can they start?
Yeah, I mean, I think it only starts to seem bigger like the older you get, in a sense. Like once you have a family and stuff, it's like even harder to feel like you can take on that kind of stuff. So do it when you're young, like by all means. But I think a lot of it is just like taking the first step. You know what I mean? Like everybody, it sounds like, you know, how do you eat the elephant like one bite at a time, right? Like it sounds really overwhelming if you're like, I need to change the way the world eats, right? Okay, well, backing back to that, like back. What's like one thing you can do tomorrow? Or you have this goal, what's one thing you can do tomorrow? Or like you have some bad habits. What would be the easiest one to give up? Try it for 30 days. Like hold yourself accountable. Just take one small step and then that kind of compounds.
Okay.
That's amazing. So yeah, just take it step by step. And we actually use this too. Like a lot when trying to teach maybe other kids or families about like shifting to eat more real food, because you can't just go straight from like eating really bad food to eating really good food like day by day, because then you're not going to build that habit. But definitely like when you're trying to jump from a really big like changing the world to just, you know, I'm gonna start a brand today, then like the more you keep on going and the more you don't give up, the more you'll be able to achieve that goal.
And for us, we started this 10 years ago, and it didn't happen overnight. Step by step, you know, then we started to start the podcast in 2020. And then after that, we started to get the book deal. Just as you keep on going, you can keep on adding more. And even for anything, even if you're just eating one meal or even adding a vegetable a day, or even a vegetable maybe every 2 days, even that progress is crucial and can really change your life. So remember to always keep on going, no matter how big it seems. And just like, you know, Miss Zanotti said, that it's always possible, and it's not like, you know, it's going to happen overnight. That anyone can do it, and you have the power to be able to do that.
Yeah. So like many people want to change the world, but don't know where to like
start, like how I said. So then how can somebody help change the food industry, even though, you know, the like, especially with what you did, it seems really hard to go against these big food
so
giants.
Maybe like how can a consumer change the food industry, like, and how can just like an everyday person really start changing the world?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of different ways you could like approach that. I think you could launch a product of your own. You could get a stand at the farmer's market. You could write a book. You could attack it from a lot of different angles, right? Like from a capitalistic entrepreneurial angle, from a media angle, there's tons of different ways. Vote with your own dollar angle. I think it's kind of like applying your maybe special talent or your interest to that cause, and you'll find like your own path for that.
And yeah.
So you have an amazing new drink. amazing. I mentioned it.
I love it. All the way, yes, yeah.
And on the market, and for someone that loves sparkling water, please tell us more about why you created Whey.
Yes, I will. Whey with 2 A's. So I am just a millennial mom trying to hit my protein goal and finding it very hard to do. So protein's definitely having a moment right now. There's a lot of studies. I don't know that there's any macronutrient that's more efficaciously studied to just improve all facets of human health as protein. And I feel like women have just been underserved in their like protein in terms of marketing protein too. So I was excited to put protein in this drink that's sparkling, tastes kind of like a soda meets a sparkling water with 0 grams of sugar, 10 grams of protein, and allow just like a fun, lighthearted family way to up the protein through the drink. So yeah, that's the idea.
So yeah, I see. I mean, it's a protein drink, but usually you hear like maybe protein bars or like meats have a lot of protein or just beans have a lot of protein. And all beans, they're like maybe they're like of nuts or like of the meat that comes from protein. So how do you put protein in the product Whey?
Especially if it's a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was surprised to find I've been in the health and wellness industry for a long time and in CPG and consumer packaged goods, food and beverage. And I realized like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I was seeing some products on the market there's a product Isopure that's been selling protein water for a long time. It's like in a glass bottle, but it has like natural or artificial flavors. I think there's sucralose in there, like nasty sweeteners and stuff I would never want to use myself. So I was this moment where I was like, wait, there exists a protein you can put in water. And if we're putting it in flat water, why has no one put it in sparkling water? So then I just began this journey that I'm on now.
So remember, everyone, go definitely check out Whey because I mean, it seems like a revolutionary drink that so many people can benefit, especially when you are struggling to get protein really that easily. So just having, something this easy to have and having that much benefit from it is so amazing. So definitely check that out because it's amazing.
Yeah,
I
and
love
sparkling water, it's just a thing that you can just like maybe just have on the go or have while relaxing. So really also getting your protein in is really revolutionary.
It's like you hit two birds, one stone.
Totally.
Yeah. So why did you create Whey in the first place? Like, because what is it? Never mind.
But when you created Whey, did you imagine it would also be this big, or how are you starting out with that process of just starting, even something as recent as Whey?
Well, it's not big. I mean, we just launched in Whole Foods this month. So I really hemmed and hawed and was like, oh, beverage is really hard. Do I really want to do this? Am I good enough to do this? All the like self-doubt and the imposter syndrome kind of came in. And then in the end of the day, the universe was just kept telling me like, you got to do this. So here I am. I think there was a lot of signs. I would be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. And then like someone would introduce me to someone and someone would text me who had a manufacturing plan. I don't know. There was too many weird just signs from the universe that like I had to launch the product. So I just did it because I just didn't feel like I felt like I couldn't not do it, more or less. But yeah, I don't know how big it'll get. I have, of course, goals and aspirations, but I'm more focused on just like putting the best product out and doing distribution the right way. And yeah, so we'll see where it goes.
So if you had to, like any tip or any advice to your younger self that when you're starting this, what would you tell them? And for anybody else out there, how would you relay that advice to them?
Yeah, one tip that you could like leave the audience here today with that'll really impact them. One tip,
or any amount of tips, but like
one that we like to keep it like one, so it's
okay,
more
just one. I would say like get a good mentor. And that's like that word I remember when I was in my 20s being like a mentor. Like, how do you find that? Like, I have had lots of mentors, none of which I was ever like, hey, will you be my mentor? Like, that just means find someone who you can ask advice to, who will like respond within a few weeks or days or hours to your texts or emails or calls, who knows your industry that you're trying to go into really well and is willing to kind of like help you so you avoid just like the major pitfalls that can crush a business early.
So
amazing. So where can people learn more about you and your amazing work?
Oh, sure. So they can follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Morgan Zanotti, Zanotti. And then we're at Drink Whey. So we're on Instagram and TikTok, Drink Whey. You can shop us on Amazon and we're at Whole Foods nationwide right now.
So like we said so many times, go definitely check that out because this is something revolutionary.
Check out Whey.
Yep, definitely.
They love it. Thanks, guys.
So thank you so much, Miss Morgan. We are so incredibly honored that you are here with us today because we know that you are super busy and you probably have like a lot of meetings. And with this new like amazing company coming out, it's probably not insanely easy. So thank you so much for making the time and talking with us. We are really honored. You are our hero.
Oh, you guys are the best. Oh, sorry. Say that one more time.
Now time to recap Miss Morgan's key points.
Miss Morgan has built an empire. She is an example of all of us. And if it wasn't enough, she started her own company called Whey.
When you be an entrepreneur, if you feel like you have to do it, then do it. If not, go work for an entrepreneur.
And remember that nobody knows what they're doing. The world is changing so fast. So if you don't know, don't know, or you're not in a good company, then at least try to vote with your dollars. Try to make any kind of change you can. Because if more people are buying better products, then companies will finally open their eyes and finally change their products. Because we need this revolution. We need to help change the food industry. Because right now it's affecting kids, teens, adults, and if it continues to negatively affect us, then where's the next generations going to go? So we need to hold these companies responsible, and we need to all contribute to this change. And when they see people want more of the better products, then they'll start bringing out and releasing more better products.
Take it step by step. Like for us, we didn't make a book and like we didn't do all this healthy stuff for like a night. We did it for 10 years, like straight. And listen to your heart.
So yeah, also I was gonna mention that us as a consumer, us as like a people, like the food companies are going to listen to us. So whatever you buy, it's like you're voting with your money, like you want that company to win. So don't just underestimate yourself. Be like, you know what, if I have this healthy food, is it really going to create change? Because it will create change. And when more people eat real food, change really happens.
So don't let big companies, food companies control you. Start making your own decisions, start educating yourself, and making the best decisions for you, your health, and ultimately your future.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Zain,
I'm Abdullah.
And I'm on.
Follow my family on social media, Holistic Mom D and Holistic Kid Show. And look out for our new best-selling book, The Teen Health Revolution, releasing December 11th, 2025. Kids need to learn from other kids. Please download our podcast on iTunes and leave a review so other kids and families can benefit. We need to create a healthy future for all of us and the planet. Join us next week for another episode of the Holistic Kid Show, where kids are empowering kids.
Thank you, everyone.
Also, thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Morgan.
Thanks, guys. This was great.
It's really been our pleasure.